They tell you monsters are easy to spot, that evil shows up loud and obvious, wearing its intentions on its sleeve, but that's not how it usually works, not where I come from. Anyway, most of the time, it shows up calm, professional, wearing a badge, telling you everything's routine, telling you you're safe right up until you're not. And yeah, that night, the night everything broke, it started so normal it almost feels insulting to remember it that way. Two brothers in a car, windows cracked, radio low, joking about dumb stuff like how every house in that neighborhood looked exactly the same, copy-paste, rich trimmed lawns, perfect lights, the kind of place that makes you feel watched even when no one's outside. Marcus was driving relaxed but alert, always half ready for something, and I was in the passenger seat, just letting the moment be quiet. You know what I mean? One of those rare stretches where life isn't asking anything from you yet. Then I saw the headlights in the mirror. Didn't say anything at first, didn't need to. Marcus felt it too. We both did. That weight, that little shift in your chest when you realize you've been noticed in the wrong way. The cruiser passed us slow, real slow, and I remember thinking, here we go, because it's always here we go, isn't it? The U-turn came right after, clean and deliberate, like a decision already made. Lights went on, red and blue washing over the dash. Marcus pulled over immediately, signal on smooth, careful, textbook perfect, because God forbid they say you hesitated. Hands on the wheel, my hands on the dash. We'd learned that dance young, learned it the hard way. Two officers walked up, one hanging back, one coming right to Marcus's window, flashlight sweeping inside like he already knew what he wanted to find. No greeting, no explanation, just license and registration. I told him I was reaching for the glove box, slow and clear, and he just watched me like a hawk, eyes empty, not angry, not calm either, just waiting. The other one leaned in and asked where we were headed, tone flat but sharp underneath. I told him we were going to our sister's place just a few blocks away. He didn't react, didn't even nod, just stared at the IDs, then back at us like the words didn't matter. Then he told Marcus to step out of the car. No reason, no cause, just because. Marcus asked why, and that was enough to change the temperature. Because I said so. You could hear it. The invitation hidden in those words, the challenge. I tried to cut in, asked politely why we were being stopped, and the answer came back, rehearsed reports of break-ins, you matched the description. Marcus laughed, sharp and bitter, asked what description exactly, and that was when the hand went to the holster. Not all the way, not yet, just enough to let us know how this could go. Marcus stepped out, slow, hands visible, every movement controlled, and I followed, putting myself just slightly between him and the officers without making it obvious, just present. They ordered us to the hood. The search started, two rough hands pushing harder than necessary, lingering testing. Marcus muttered something under his breath, frustration leaking through despite everything he was doing to keep it together, and the officer leaned in close, asked if he had a problem. Marcus said yeah, he did, said he didn't like being thrown around like he'd done something wrong. And that was it. That was the moment. I felt it snap into place. He's resisting. One of them shouted, already rewriting the story out loud. Hands grabbed Marcus, yanked him off balance. I stepped forward without thinking, said he wasn't resisting, said calm down, and then everything went wrong all at once. The gun came out fast, too fast. A shout, a bang. That sound still lives in my bones. Marcus went down hard, shock frozen on his face, hands empty, nothing in them but air. I screamed his name and lunged, and the world turned white and locked up as the taser hit me square in the chest. By the time I could move again, I was on the ground, muscles screaming, and Marcus was bleeding out on the pavement. I crawled to him, hands shaking, pressing on the wound like I could hold him there by force alone, like I could argue with reality if I just pushed hard enough. His breath was wet, uneven, eyes searching mine, fingers gripping my sleeve weakly. He told me not to let them get away with it, voice barely there, and then his grip loosened, and that was it. Just like that, my other half gone. They pulled me off him, punched me, cuffed me, told me to stop resisting while I screamed that they'd killed my brother. One of them stood up, already calm again, already detached, and said it out loud like a script. He went for my gun. We had no choice. By the time the cameras showed up, the story was finished. Dangerous suspect, officer feared for his life, tragic but justified. I sat in the back of that squad car, wrists bleeding against the cuffs, staring through dirty glass at Marcus's body still lying there alone, and something in me went quiet in a way I didn't recognize. After that, the system moved fast, just not in the direction you'd hope. Charges against me, paid leave for the shooter. Press conferences, statements, sympathy for the officers. Marcus's name dragged through the mud like he'd deserved it. Naomi got me out, my sister, sharp as hell, already on the phone with reporters before the cuffs were even cold. For a minute, it felt like maybe this time would be different. Body cams would come out. Truth would matter. But weeks passed, then months. Footage was delayed. Investigations dragged. The officers went on TV and talked about fear and split-second decisions, and I watched one of them say he wished it had gone differently with a straight face, and something inside me finally cracked. Because here's the thing, most people didn't know about me, didn't bother to look up. Before I came home, before the quiet job and the low profile, I spent years in places that don't make the news, trained to read patterns, trained to survive chaos. I knew exactly what had happened that night, and I knew the system wasn't going to fix it. So I stopped waiting. I started watching, digging, learning routines, looking up old complaints that went nowhere, names that kept popping up for all the wrong reasons. The officer who shot Marcus had a history, excessive force, profiling every report.